In the early 2000s, the United States had one of its biggest increases in immigration ever, with 1,030,000 people coming from the years 2000 to 2009. One of the biggest increases was people immigrating from Mexico and other Latin countries. Factors such as poor drinking water, crime and gangs, and low quality food sources led these people to leave their homes behind. This is a story of one of those immigrants.
What is your name and how old were you when you came to America?
My name is Zoe, and I came to America when I was 11 years old.
Describe your financial situation in Mexico.
My mom never learned how to read or write, so my dad was the only one who went to work. In 2010, my dad lost his job and we were evicted from our house. We were forced to move into a tiny apartment that was very unsafe.
What made your family finally decide to move to America?
My family had always imagined living in America. My dad has always wanted to own a restaurant. It would be a start to a new life that would really help us in the time of need. In our neighborhood, you were always scared for your life. I would hear gunshots and yelling at night. Everybody was poverty-stricken. We wanted to leave.
What was your first plan of action?
First, we had to find a route to America. None of us realized the journey ahead. We had to sneak across the border, so we decided to take a train that went across the border. This train was nicknamed as the Beast. We had heard that a lot of people had went on top of these trains and got to America.
How did you get onto the train?
We had to sneak onto the top of the train. Thankfully, the ride only took 1 month for us. Up on the train, you are exhausted, always dehydrated, and each of us only had a gallon of water and stale tortillas. And it was extremely hot due to the scorching sun and hot metal train. The ride had always left you in terror.
Where did you get off the train?
We got off the train in Mexico City, then we hitchhiked our way to Los Angeles.
Did you ever worry that someone might turn you in while you were hitchhiking?
It was in the back of my head. I think people just assumed we were homeless because we were wearing such ragged and dirty clothes.
Where did you go when you finally arrived at Los Angeles?
My cousin had gotten his citizenship in 1999, so thankfully we were allowed to stay with him.
Describe the weeks after your arrival in California.
At first, we had trouble getting on our feet. My mom and dad couldn't put us in school easily because we were undocumented. Those weeks were filled with excitement, but the most fear I've ever felt in my life. Knowing that we were pretty much non-existent in America, we had left everything we had known behind. We had so many doubts. Should we go back? Is it worth it? I felt like a sitting duck, just waiting for something to happen in our lives. Whether it be good or bad, I felt empty. We were getting nowhere, just waiting day by day to be documented, but that wasn't going to happen. We had to take action. What is your name and your occupation?
My name is Amy and I used to work for DACA. I started working on the project in 2013. Our purpose was simple, to allow hundreds of thousands of young people who were brought to the United States illegally as children to remain in the country.
Wants to be an applicant for DACA.
In order to be considered, applicants cannot have serious criminal histories and must have entered the U.S. before 2007, when they were under the age of 16. I have worked with thousands of young people who've later went on to become doctors, lawyers, and many important members of society.
How do you feel about DACA being unfair?
I think it is unfair for President Trump to get rid of DACA without thinking about the serious consequences. Many young people who do not have opportunities in this country that they should. They came here when they were young, and they deserve a voice.
Recently, there has been a large increase in number of immigrants. In this day and age, approximately 43.3 million immigrants live in the United States. Of those 43.3 million, 11.1 million of them are illegal. To this day, many immigrants are discriminated against due to race, gender, ethnicity, or religion. Now, more than ever, immigrant families are struggling due to new politicians' immigration laws. 80,000 people are at risk from being separated from everything they have ever known since they have grown up in America. This new age of immigration is terrifying, but not so different from all the other eras.